Hello everyone, this is Blair Space here, and we're at another Kaiju Universe showcasing. This one is a really good one. It is Godzilla 2021, or just G21, as some people say to keep it short. Here's walk animation. And you just saw the run, but I'll play it again, right here. Next is mauling. Has a good hitbox that reaches all the way down to the ground so you can hit small kaiju. Actually, that applies to all of its melees. Like, they all touch the ground and they can hit small kaiju, so you don't have to worry about getting... you don't have to worry about ankle biters, essentially. Next, what I just showed you is dual back. Does 690 damage. Mauling does 600 damage, by the way. And then you have Intimidation Rumble. Has good range if you use, well, Control Shift, so we can do is... like, you can do that. Its melees are also really cheap, like, 12, 15, 12. That's it. And although the cooldowns are mediocre, because you have 3 melees to cycle through, it kind of counterbalances that. So realistically speaking, your melee DPS actually is pretty scary, in a sense. However, what's really terrifying is this thing's beam, because it fires out instantly, and just look at the damage. Alright? Look at that damage. It does a max damage of roughly 20, or roughly 3,000... I'm sorry. The max damage is roughly 2,300, and as you saw, it did nearly 170 per tick. So yeah, insane burst damage. Cooldown's kind of meh, but it fires out instantly, and basically, it's really hard to fight this thing. Like, if it lands a beam on you, it can instantly put you at a disadvantage. That's what I say. And next, we finally have the grand finale, Hollow Quarry. That one costs 100 charge, has a fairly long cooldown, but the maximum damage is 2,570. Oh, and on a side note, Atomic Breath costs 80 charge. Honestly, you don't need much charge for this thing, because your melees are dirt cheap despite the overall really good DPS you can put out, and you have 120 charge. The only thing you really need, about, I'd say, 3 regen and 7 health, and then obviously max damage for this thing. That way you can be extra tanky, but also not have to heavily rely on regen. You really just need regen for Atomic Breath. And Hollow Quarry is very situational, but if you can pull it off and land it, it's devastating. And then Retired Bellow. And then this one, I'm going to turn on my game volume for this one, since it is a bit quiet, but this one is... Maniacal Crackle. Both really good roars. And top it off, he has normal swim speed of 90, but his sprint speed is 33. And call me crazy, but you could get away with doing max speed, or at least a lot of speed on this thing. Because max speed on this thing is 41 sprint. Which leaves, only 4 things in the game that can, naturally outspeed you. Maybe 5 if you, It basically, not much will outspeed this thing if you have max speed. And combine that with how tanky it is, it could be terrifying, to say the least. However, I personally am just going to go for the more tanky route with this thing. I'm going to go for 7 health and then 3 regen. It'll result in me having a max health of 6,014, which is ludicrous. Especially when combined with its speed, melee DPS, and beam. Right now, I think it's a low... Like, it's barely S plus tier. If it's not barely S plus, then it's top of S tier or somewhere very high S tier. Like, it's just that good. Now, what would I say gives this thing a rough time? Well, apart from game lag, I'd say maybe a skilled Monster Zero that knows how to range. Same thing for a King Ghidorah. Destroya, because with a Destroya variable slicer buff, that is the one Destroya is actually terrifying again. Like, it's high S plus tier, if I were to compare it to this thing. So, in a 1v1, a Destroya will probably give you a very hard time. Mecha Godzilla beam spam could probably give you a rough time. Depends, really. Like, if you have your beam ready when he attacks you, then it could be in your favor. Because although he has more consistent beam damage, your beam damage is just so... it's devastating. All you have to do is wait until he beams and then beam back, and your beam damage will... Although your beam's shorter, it's burst damage. You'll just burst him down. So yeah, there's not the you know... I would say maybe just beam spam in general, but he's extremely quick. Like, he can close the distance if you're a ground kaiju and just maul you. So he's actually really... Like I said, that's why I think he doesn't have many, you know, not many kaiju, in my opinion, that can give him a hard time, at least for now. There could be more counterplay in the future, but overall, I think he's definitely low S+. So on that note, I hope you have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed the review.